My name's Rob Miller. I'm the co-owner of Trefoil Gardens, and we do little co-op gardens in our neighbors' yards. The simplest explanation, and the one that's most widely used with our members, is the member opens up some space in their yard to us, and we put in a vegetable garden. So they're providing space, they're providing access, and they're paying the water bill, and they're also helping out with the soil amendments. And in exchange for that, they get a big bag of produce every week for 30 weeks out of the year. Tell you what, these things, when they come in no kidding.
My name's Melanie Jones. I'm co-owner at Trefoil Gardens. Mostly I run the propagation, so I start the seeds and take care of the babies before they head out to the fields. And then I do field planting and stuff like that too. You know, it really started, we were really focused here at the house, and we kind of we thought we would be moving onto a bigger property at some point, and we wanted to make small mistakes here so that when we moved it onto a larger scale, we wouldn't be making hard mistakes on a big scale. And then one year we got a book, and it kind of changed the way we were thinking about things. And the book that we got the idea from was spin farming. It's called Spin Farming. That really just kind of opened our eyes to a different direction. And we thought, oh well, we can expand it a little bit and start building a customer base for restaurants and stuff, so when we do move and expand, then we have somebody to sell to. So we started in our neighbors' gardens, and the more that we interacted with our neighbors and the feedback we got, we were like, you know, maybe we don't actually have to move. Maybe we can do what we want to do and stay here and serve our community and not have to go somewhere else. So it's kind of just evolved. We didn't start out thinking we were going to be in this direction at all, but now that we're in this direction, we really are excited about it. So over here we have chard and some kale, and we have gold beets and spinach and Parisian carrots, which are little round carrots. We have salsify and scorzonero back here, which we haven't really grown before, so we'll see how that goes. We have choy choy here, which is a baby bok choy, and regular red beets here, top soy here, and broccoli and cauliflowers back there. And then over here we have lots of kale and some spinach and lots more carrots and some beets.
So there's 47 homes in the neighborhood. We're currently gardening in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots in there. And then we've just come out of the neighborhood. We got another one right up here on the right. About a mile down the road here, there's another family that's interested in putting in a 1,600 square foot garden. There's another 2 yards in the neighborhood that we're talking to right now. We just haven't gotten the green light from them just yet. If we got those 2, that would probably take us up to our 10,000 square foot that we're looking for. You know, we start sharing our story and they get interested, and you know, next thing you know, we're tilling up their yard.
Working with the community and serving people is a real intricate part of permaculture. So it's not just about the land, and it's not just about the solution lying in the problem, but it also adds in that component of people, people service.
The idea was we were going to move out onto a big piece of land and start a proper permaculture farm with, the animal systems are a huge part of traditional permaculture design, and so you need to be able to run goats and cows as well as chickens through your system in order to really manage the land properly, by a pure permaculture design system. Permaculture is a system based on 3 ethics and like 18 or so principles. The ethics are care of the earth, care of people, and return of surplus. As we started doing this, we discovered that we were really, although this isn't a classical, ideal permaculture system, we are growing food where people live. And that's so important, especially today. And, whether or not we're ever going to be able to run goats and our cows through our neighborhood, that really becomes less of an issue as we've kind of created this or become part of this intentional community. My farmers market customers and my restaurant customers, those are customer relationships. There's some great people. They love what we're doing. They're enthused about what we're doing. They're behind it and think it's great. And I think that's wonderful. And we really need that, because those folks talk a lot about us and share with their friends what we're doing and bring more people to us.
Do you guys take larger caps versus smaller caps?
Depends on what you're doing. If
I
you're
don't
going to
know,
cut them up,
because
if you're going to
you
cut
would
them
think
up
it-
anyway, then the smaller caps are fine. You're generally going to have probably a little bit lighter stems on a smaller cap.
Alright.
So you're going to have a little bit less of that. One thing you can do with stems, like that one there. One thing you can do with the stems is, we make a broth with them, or you can dry them and grind them into a powder, and then whip it into like a compound butter. It's really good. Yeah. I had an email from one of our farmers market customers today that was offering me, to connect me up with her neighborhood. Stuff like that I'm already thinking about, if I start mentoring somebody here who lives there, or something like that, those kind of situations, we want to keep those kind of doors open, for sure. We couldn't do this without them, honestly. 7.5 on the salad, 2.5 on the arugula.
Okay.
What I'm looking for in a farm share is a partner. I'm not looking for a customer relationship. I'm looking for someone who wants to come along beside us and work with us to build something bigger. And I'm fine with some of those relationships being more customer vendor type relationships, because that's just where we're at right now with some folks. But I'd love to see those folks as engaged as others in the organization, and really that's where it's headed for our farm share families. The Elliot Coleman's model, which is what we're working on New Market Garden, he says, he says that it's reasonable for one man to work 2 acres. once you get over 2 acres, you quit having a life. I don't see with this kind of production system, which is a little more intense than Elliott Home does, really get much past 20,000 square feet, especially in a subdivision where everything's not contiguous.
I feel like that would really get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But most of what we do now is like behind our house, either right beside or behind our house. So this isn't really.
Well, you know, sometimes I get
And
thinking about
the blast,
silly things.
yeah, the blast chiller cooler is not, it wouldn't necessarily be considered a permanent structure, would it?
As much as possible, I love pushing the wheelbarrow around barefooted, but I'm still going to have remote gardens. The rentals are important for me as an asset in this organization because they have a tree service company. I want logs for shiitakes, and so I want to keep them happy and engaged. And so, you know, that's our corporate justification for driving 30 minutes to a yard share. And
collaboration.
that's collaboration.
One thing I have
I'd love to see this little baby thing that we're doing right now turn into a co-op of tool share. You know, somebody working with food preservation and you know, larger bulk buys on grains and stuff like that. I'd love to see labor shares, you know, and connections up where, I mean, there's a small engine mechanic here in the neighborhood. There's a painter here in the neighborhood. There's a landscaper here in the neighborhood. There are so many people with so many skills, and they're leaving the neighborhood to go to work for somebody else. And they could, you know, if not a full-time gig, you know, we could all be working together here, you know, a lot more than we are. Bill Mollison said, you know, that something to the effect of, you know, a revolutionary that doesn't grow a garden is, you know, he called it futility, and it is really, you know, I mean, this is central to empowering individuals, and there's no way that somebody who's reliant on the systems that they're railing against can honestly do anything about it, you know, and so this gives people an opportunity to step out of the system that has really trapped them, and move into something a little more. I'm never thought that I'd be a part of something like this, let alone organizing it. I mean, it just really, it's amazing. It's really crazy.